Hello, hello, it's John. Okay, I'm going to flip you around because the camera's shaking a little bit. There we go, that's better. Okay, so we are heading back from Musselburgh to the town that I live in, and wanted to share with you the drive on the way home. And I wanted to answer a question from one of you. So this question is from Violet, and she was saying that that she has challenges with boundaries and more so spiritual boundaries. So there's a mention, for example, of wearing black clothes, which I felt was really powerful, because you see me wearing black quite a lot. And, you know, well, I'm about to give my opinions about some of these things. But yeah, it does feel that this is a really important evolution that we're all going through, because it helps us really discern. Are you gonna come this way? It really helps us discern more about these boundaries. And I was just I was reflecting there on some of my journeys with spiritual boundaries. So let's talk, for example, about, I think I take a left here. Let's first of all talk about just wearing black clothes, like wearing dark clothes, and my reasons. So I wear, it's ironic, because right now today I'm wearing a white top, so a white t-shirt, and then this kind of grey white cardigan. But most of the time I'm wearing a black top. I have tons and tons of black tops. So if you ever wondered why, like, how do I not stink? And I don't even know how many black tops I have, t-shirts I have. It's a lot. It's in the region of 15 or 20. I'm just being careful here, because if I pull out and there's a car coming around the corner, I'll have more problems. Oh, it's a nightmare. So, I'm just stuck out in the road. Okay. Pat's enjoying it though. So I have lots of black tops, and the reason I wear black is because, in part, it's a uniform to me. I feel that having clothes, I tend to wear my darker clothes when I'm working, and then I have like reds and whites and blues. I'll tend to wear those more so at the weekend. You might even spot, since I do my Highest John videos 7 days a week, but I don't do everything else 7 days a week. You might experience some of that I show more I show more color at the weekend. And I wear black also as a receiving color, as a color to help receive energy, psychic energy. So when I'm working with clients, I feel it's a very powerful, statement about, black absorbs energy, white reflects. When I'm doing exorcisms and negative entity, or entities that are negative removals, you quite often see me wearing white for those. Not always, but it just depends. And that can that can really help with protection. Now, just because I'm Jon Binnie, professional psychic spiritual mentor, and these are my habits, I encourage you to really find your own habits. So if it feels for you that you feel comfortable in specific clothes, like you choose you, and don't let others, tell you otherwise. Because when you're comfortable, when you feel comfortable outside, we don't really have feelings outside us, right? You could argue they're all really inside of us. So when whatever helps support your feeling outside, whatever you do outside of you that helps support the feeling inside, these are valuable to you, right? And they're going to be different and unique for each of us. So let's go onto some of these other founding principles that I feel Violet and myself and others have had real challenges with. And one of those is this concept of spiritual clothing. And if you think about it, it's this almost this exclusivity of things. Some things are spiritual and some things aren't. That is like the undertone, the undercurrent of this. So I feel, I'm not actually sure where I'm going. I think it's this way. Kind of just going by muscle memory. Yeah, this seems right. One of my foundational principles about spirituality is that everything is spiritual. And I really resonate with the saying, or I'm not sure if I'm paraphrasing this, and I'm sure I didn't make it up myself, but on the journey of meditation, is what we're really doing is, when we meditate each day, what we're learning is to we learn that meditation each day is fantastic for us, right? It really helps us. And if we don't think we should meditate, or if we don't think we have enough time for meditation, I love the idea that you spend, even when you do meditate, spend even longer, because you need more of it to help, expand your mindset, to help open your heart. And I also feel it's true that at some point, and I feel this increasing experience, this expansion in my journey, is that everything, you begin to learn that life is a meditation. Life is a meditation, John. And I feel that's so cool, because you can sit down, Patch. When you feel that life is a meditation, you no longer perceive it as this kind of, just a grind, right? Like I felt for most of my life. It's like, wow, why is life such a grind? Everything's so hard. I have to push all day long. And it's not really true, right? We really learn in our meditation practices that some of our greatest gains are receiving. It's like those moments when you see a bodybuilder posing in front of the mirror, and you would think, and you might have been shown in a video, that they're really getting all their gains from pushing, literally lifting weights every day. And yet there's something magical about the experience of the bodybuilder posing in the mirror, and this beautiful gratitude that they have, like, look at my body, look at me. And yes, there can be lots of ego in there, and lots of other aspects to it. But there's something beautiful about being able to receive, and I feel that journey has been for me for sure with my meditation journey. And I'd love to talk to you more about my meditation journey, my meditation practice. I don't talk so much about I talk about the highlights, but I don't really go into much depth about the journeys year on year that I've had. So going back to the question of, well, you know, what boundaries can we have about clothing and spiritual things? Well, I must admit, the biggest change that I've been through visibly on the outside is that since I've been doing this work full time, I now wear more black. And or should I say, I wear black more of the time, including my merchandise. You can buy Jon Binnie black hoodies, also white. And there are some practical challenges with black, such as on a day like this when it's so hot and sunny, it can feel, you know, intense. Like, oh wow, it's so tough. You just feel your body's absorbing all the heat. So, and there's definitely a practical side to it. But I do enjoy multicolored things. I've had tops in the past, especially in the early 2000s, that were full of bright colors and things. And the kind of pseudo or kind of stereotypical spiritual guy might be wearing a lot of colors, or might be wearing, you know, ethically sourced clothing, and yet a lot of my thinking is, well, why would I go out just because I'm doing this work full time? Why would I go out? And I don't feel it's very ethical or sustainable to just buy a new wardrobe just to be spiritual. Like, here's spiritual Jon, and this is my spiritual wardrobe and stuff. I really try and stay away from the language of using spiritual as an adjective. Is that right? I really feel that we're all spiritual. Everything is spiritual. And the reason I chose spiritual psychic mentor is because, as a job title currently, is because they're the aspects of you I feel like it's the spiritual aspects of everyone I feel that I can help the most. Whereas, and maybe in the future I would just change it to psychic mentor. I don't know. And the word psychic, you know, will have, you know, it's still a niche word now. It won't be long until that's also much more popular, right? And everyone realizes that they have psychic capabilities. Now, these are my opinions, right? These are just my experiences, and I, ironically, you know, spirituality as a domain needs a lot of help from us, from you and I, in helping make it truly inclusive, you know. And I don't, you know, there's a couple of topics I don't really go into. One is politics and the other is religions. I can categorically say I have had and have clients from many different religious backgrounds and political persuasions, or, you know, or orientations. And I never judge people based on that, and I never exclude people. And it's the same with you know, friends, and also clothing or things I wear and buy and do. I'd really love to know in the comments, you know, what sort of challenges you've had. There's another, you know, we're going through this back in 2017, when I first became aware of spirituality and awakening as a concept, back then some of the trends were much more kind of, I came in through I was kind of following people who had a crossover from extraterrestrials into spirituality. And I remember just a few days after I first started meditating each day, hearing all about someone talking about the spirit guides, and I was so fascinated by it. It was actually a YouTuber, she's still going, called Bridget Nielsen. And although I watch a lot less of her content now, I feel she's fantastic, and she's undergone a huge transformation. And she talks, I love the way she vulnerably talks about her transformation over the last 8 or so years. And so from trends of kind of, we still have like sensationalism and fear, etc. But back then, we didn't really use the term spiritual, right? We would just talk about, in fact, if anything, conspiracy was often the most dominant word. And then, awakening started to turn up, and then I guess there's other trends like woke, and there's just a whole explosion of different terms, and this whole birthing or rebirthing, I'm sure it goes through cycles of the concept spirituality. The more recent trends I see in other people are people wanting to leave their full-time job like I did and do follow their passions full-time. Other people kind of really hungry. Like there are huge markets in people who sign up for Reiki courses or reflexology or psychic courses, and I'm not trying to, and it's interesting, so I don't exclusively look to work with just people that are any of these things. Even my business mentoring service, I have drafted a non-business version of that. So helping people really, find the alignment in their lives and then follow their soul path, their life purpose, regardless of whether they're working or not. And it's called, I can't remember what I've called it now. It's something like Heart Aligned Dream Life or something. I'm not sure. I need to check it. There is a draft of it on my website on the bookings page. You can feel free to take a look. So yeah, I would always encourage us all to, whenever we're being drawn into, that's spiritual, that's not spiritual, that's spiritual, that's not spiritual, to begin to realize that there's an opportunity with the term spiritual to really allow it to be inclusive for everything, because there's spiritual aspects to everything. And because spirituality is for me this beautiful interest and pursuit of higher aspects of ourselves and other beings and other wisdoms and knowings and experiences. And so why would any human ever be excluded from that? Why would any clothing be excluded for that? And there are other boundaries to feel into. I think I've got about another 10 minutes driving time. There are other aspects to consider, such as the challenges of what I term as bias towards different extraterrestrial races. And that, without using the R word on a YouTube video, and I will be doing a YouTube video about this very shortly with Chloe Rose. I really feel that we have the opportunity to reinvent our own concepts. You know, not just project our narrowing, dualistic, constrained, divisive terms and concepts that really separate humans from each other. And because I feel that really at the heart of it, and going back to Violet's question about boundaries, is that each of us individually get to decide. We all get to decide what we wear, what we eat, where we live, what we do. It's important to me, for example, that I do wear clothing that I feel comfortable in, that I feel relaxed in, that is sustainable. Some of my clothing I've had for like 20 plus years, and it just feels right. It feels the right clothing for now. And whenever I see stuff in the shops and it looks kind of fancy, or see something online, I mean, the stuff I get shown online is really cool as well, like, you know, lots of hoods, and it reminds me much more of a kind of cosplay, and it'd be really fun. Like, I would have no problems dressing up as a wizard or a witch. I really love Halloween. I love dressing up. I also just love the fact that I work for myself and I get to wear what I want, and so I choose what feels right for me. And it's very tempting, especially when you're on YouTube a lot, to just wear, you know, oh, I'm going to wear all my spiritual things, and it's like, that's not helpful, because everything is spiritual. So just, what are you going to wear, John? Just choose. And if you want to go out and reinvent yourself, if you want to go and buy a new wardrobe, if you know, I definitely encourage you to, you know, go with what feels right for you. I also encourage you not to, you know, to try and preach to others. I wouldn't try and preach to you and say, don't do it, and likewise, I know you wouldn't do it to me. Yeah, you'll hear, especially in this, I see a lot of it on YouTube in particular, like and TikTok has a heavy kind of the spiritual domain of activities, right? You know, tarot readings, channelings, light language, like it's rife. And I see a lot of people, including friends that I've worked with for a long time, continue to try, you know, to not just try, but keep up with trends of fashion and what they wear. And I really encourage people to just follow follow what feels right for them. And you know, one thing I've spoken about, we've done videos together on this publicly, so it's okay for me to use this as an example, but my friend Chloe Rose, friend and client Chloe Rose, she went through this transformation of wearing very light, bright colors, and her business was predominantly yoga, and now she's shifting into her whole self, which is a whole broad range, including wearing a lot of dark as well. And that has been so liberating for her. She's really felt empowered by it. And a lot of this comes down to self-trust as well, right? Like, did I mention it earlier that I wear black to honor my darkness? I want you to see my darkness. I want you, this divisiveness and separation of humanity is often fueled by this kind of suspicion of us hiding stuff from each other. You know, that I'm, you know, if it was me hiding stuff, I don't know, what would I be hiding? Some like demonic, terrible spirit guide who's, you know, controlling and influencing me and making me do all these things. But no, I will introduce you to to them all, and I'll always share what influences me, and I feel that at the very heart of the future of Earth is like learning to celebrate what's unique about each other. So next time someone says to you, "Oh, why are you wearing that? That's not spiritual." Just say, you don't need to like argue about what is and isn't spiritual, right? You can say for you, say, well, I decide what I wear, and I enjoy wearing this. I feel that everything in my life is spiritual. I feel that everything in my life has the opportunity to be a meditation. Like, whatever you feel, whatever of those things resonate or not, you decide, and these are boundaries for you, right? I remember I was in a band in the early 2000s, and a lot of people would, including band members, didn't like what I wore, and ironically they wanted me to wear more black and dress up more. And in some of the later videos you see me doing some of that, but it was very, the energy of it was just really weird. I'm wearing clothes that weren't me. I found that so strange. I look back, I quite like them now. I think they're really cool. I had giant black flares, and I had a big necklace, like a neck chain and stuff, and chains hanging off my jeans. Like, oh, that's so cool. I like that. I love that kind of metal goth emo look. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, I really celebrate everyone's freedom of expression. It's just so powerful, and it's a big journey for us as a human race, right? Us all choosing what it is that feels right to us. And boundaries are the enforcement of it, right? So our free will is paramount. We're learning how to discern, what feels right to us. We're learning about what's safe for us to do as individuals. And we're learning this really beautiful practice of when other people challenge that and question that, we're learning to say, it feels good for me. I wear what I want. I don't tell you what to wear. Don't tell me what to wear. You can use the words, it is a boundary for me that if anyone ever judges me for anything I do, including what I wear or say or watch, you could argue, for example, that metal music is not spiritual, and it's like, it's ridiculous. I was listening to Tool just yesterday. They're like a 90s kind of rock metal band, and I remember the lyrics saying, "We are spirit bound to these human forms or to these beings." And it's like, I can't remember the exact lyrics, but it's everything is so beautiful, such precision and beauty in their music. And it is very naive, and you could argue not inclusive, to just dismiss something because it's maybe loud and has lots of crashing cymbals and heavy guitars. And likewise the other way around. You might be listening to some pop music. You might be listening to Katy Perry or any popular music, and if your discernment, if your heart's not checking in on your discernment and whether it serves your highest good or not, then that can be that can leave you just as open and as vulnerable as it would be listening to any other category of music. Well, we're just coming up now. On home, and it's been a lot of fun answering your question, Violet. Thank you so much for asking. I can't promise I'm going to do a video for every question, but what I can promise is what I really love doing is looking through your questions and both answering them in videos, but also you know, in my kind of prediction styles videos, also answering them in these longer videos as well. I love the space and opportunity to be able to do so. So thank you for this. Well, it's been a lot of fun. Let me flip you around without making you too dizzy. Oh yeah, the camera starts going crazy when I do this. I don't know if I'm shaking a lot. Lightly I am. But thank you so much for watching. It's been such a pleasure discussing this topic with you. Let me know what your boundaries are for what you wear, what you feel is spiritual and what isn't. What are your views on meditation? Is everything a meditation or not? What clothes do you enjoy wearing the most? Yeah, I feel it's really powerful and beautiful to explore what is wonderfully unique about each other. All right, thank you so much. Take care. Sending love.